If you're someone who's thinking about moving to the Sacramento area, you need to watch this video. We're going to unveil April 2026 statistics for you. We're going to break it down against April 2025. We're also going to break it down against March. We're going to see exactly how the Sacramento real estate market is doing. Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? We're going to talk a little bit about interest rates. We're going to also talk about luxury price points, first-time home buyers, new homes. Everything that you need to know about the Sacramento real estate market, you're going to get in this video. Let's get started. All right, guys, it's going to be a fun show. I brought on April numbers, and they're very, very interesting. We're going to go into them in a second. I downloaded them from the MLS, so they are, complete, just thrown out numbers, and normally they come out like a month after the fact. So we're going to go over April, and we're going to look a little bit about what April did for us. We're going to compare it to March. We're going to talk about April compared to other, last year as well too. It's interesting. I mean, I'll tell you my general thoughts as far as what I'm feeling right now is that people are writing offers. People are out there looking. The market right now feels very, very active. Now, I'm not saying it's like everyone's out there looking for that one house and going crazy, but I am saying the activity is definitely picking up. A lot of realtors I talk to, even some realtors who normally are just doing this maybe part-time, are getting really, really busy. So the market's picking up, and you're seeing a lot more people out there shopping, open houses and everything too. Right now is kind of the market where people, I think they're saying to themselves, like, if I'm going to make the move, it's going to happen now. I gotta go. May, this is kind of go time, end of school, got to wrap it up, got to figure out where the house is. And we're just seeing a lot of activity. Now, let's get into some stats, and let's talk all about this. Hope you guys are having a good night too. I'm having a fantastic evening. Okay, so this is April 2026 versus 2025. Now, this April, what we saw was there were less homes actually for sale. And this is Yolo, Placer, Sacramento County, and El Dorado counties all combined. That for me is a little bit of the Sacramento Metro. Other people might disagree, but that's what I'm going to call it. So those are the counties that my team for the most part works. And so that's kind of what we put into this. So again, Yolo, Placer, Sacramento, and El Dorado counties. And this is combined. So we got this. April, there were actually less houses for sale than the previous year, which is interesting. We were already seeing a little bit of an activity kind of pick up. We're already seeing people kind of eat up the inventory, and that's kind of what we're seeing in March. So we are hoping to see inventory levels get a little higher, but what we're seeing now is because of buyer activity, a lot of this resale inventory is getting gobbled up. Homes sold more than last year. Look at that. I mean, that's telling me right now that we have less inventory than last year and more homes are being sold, which means a lot of people are out there kind of looking, buying houses, and our inventory is getting back to shrinking instead of growing, which is not a great thing. Now, as far as pending home sales, we saw this increase as well too. Demand is definitely increasing in our market. Does that mean you should go out this moment and go buy a house? No. Time your life, don't time the market. Just be aware of what you're jumping into. Just be aware of what the market is kind of looking like for you. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. The education piece is something that we always stress on my team. We always talk to people and say, it's not about the sell. It's not about going to see one house and calling it a day. It's about the education piece, knowing areas, knowing home styles, knowing single story versus two stories, new versus resale, Folsom versus Rockland, all those kind of things you need to know. Also, Folsom, there's so many communities. If you saw my video Friday, all the communities that I highlighted in that video are completely different than each other. Some have Melrose, some have HOAs, some are golf course, some are by the water. I mean, it just varies. And that's just Folsom. When you take into account like Elk Grove, East Sacramento, Land Park, you got a whole bunch of different areas. So just get that education piece done, but know also the type of market you're jumping into. Don't be fooled about all this marketing, all this crazy Instagram stuff and everything too. Pressure on you to buy, people telling you the market's going to crash. You got to really understand exactly the statistics of what's going on. As I showed you guys right here, I mean, we got less homes on the market. We're selling more and more homes are going pending. So what does that mean to you? Basically, demand is increasing. And instead of our inventory levels going up and up and up, they're kind of shrinking a little bit because our demand is eating them up. And that's year against year. Now let's go into some other stuff. Inventory comparisons. Active listings, like I said before, 2026, we had less as far as the year. So it is getting a little tightening here. We're going to feel probably that the houses thrown on the market, if our demand keeps up, are going to get eaten up quicker because the demand is still out there. And I have a lot of buyers right now that have missed out on a couple of houses and they're ready to jump in. And so I'm guessing a lot of realtors do as well too. So what you could see is middle May, end of May, maybe even June as well too, you could all of a sudden see, multiple offers, houses going over list and everything too, because right now our inventory levels are kind of shrinking again, going reverse, and our demand is getting like demand is, you feel it in the market. Now, as far as inventory goes, shrinking again. We were shrinking from 2025, which is 2.3, to this year 2.2. So what we're seeing is our demand is eating up our inventory a little bit. And if you're waiting and saying, hey, I'm going to wait for the inventory to pile up, we're kind of moving in the opposite direction at this point. So don't be a little baffled if all of a sudden a couple months down the road, inventory levels are worse than what they were maybe, like February and, when we were picking up steam and everything too. It just seems to be the inventory is just tightening up, guys. And it is because the demand is coming in here. And, closed sales again, April 2025, it increased again for 26. So we are increasing our eating up of inventory. And even though people are throwing houses on the market, the good houses and a lot of the houses are going really, really quick. So just be prepared for this type of market when you jump in. Now, as far as price trends, average sold price is up a little bit, not a whole lot. Median sold price is down. So people are still listing a little higher. And then all of a sudden, a couple weeks down the road, they're reducing, they're selling. So that's kind of what we're seeing right now too. And overall, the average price per square foot is up. Sold, not bad. Buyer competition, average days on the market is a little higher. But again, I still think that's because of seller pricing. I don't think seller pricing exactly where it should be from the get-go. I think people are listing a little higher, and then all of a sudden they're dropping it a little bit. Now, the crazy part for me is I am seeing people list aggressively and not take offers that are even over list price. This is a trend that I've never seen. I've actually submitted many times for my clients, at least 5 times over the last 2 weeks, for people that had a certain list price, and I went over list. And what the response I got from the listing agent was, we just listed it. We want to wait a couple weeks to see how it does. So I would say pick a good listing agent that's smart enough to negotiate a good deal, because I can almost tell you this: if your house is on the market 2 to 3 to 4 weeks, people are going to start looking at it like something is wrong with it. If you have an overlist offer, could you get a little bit more? Possibly, if you're good at negotiating. So just make sure you're picking the right listing agent. All right, let's go here. What does it mean for buyers? Inventory remains historically low. Multiple offer situation is still common. And yes, we are seeing a lot of multiple offer situations happen. Some of the areas like your Folsom, your Grant Bays, your East Sacramentos, there are still some. Now, I would say the softer markets still, you got your Orangevales, your Fair Oaks, Citrus Heights, Carmichaels. Those tend to be a little softer too. I'm guessing that's going to probably pick up as our inventory gets eaten away. Strong demand under 700. Yeah, we're having a lot of demand right now under 700, but it's not going that low. What we're noticing is our first-time home buyers are still pivoting to the new homes. Why are they going to the new homes? Brand new home, super incentives. I mean, Richmond American right now is offering a 3.99 FHA full term if you qualify with the credit and everything too. So the incentives are still really appealing to your first-time home buyers who, interest rates being what they are around the 6.5, it's still not an easy thing to qualify for a house in the Sacramento area. It just is what it is. Luxury markets are very, very active in this area. One of the things that I've noticed more than anything is our luxury markets are just going crazy. Luxury properties, if priced right, fly. They get multiple offers and they go, go, go. Areas like Granite Bay, areas like Loomis, areas like Folsom, everything is really, really getting active in that luxury market. Just keep that in mind if you're a luxury buyer and you're thinking about that. All right, for sellers, buyers are active, be selective. Overpriced homes sit longer, absolutely. Updated and turnkey homes win. I would definitely say that's one thing that I'm seeing straight up. People, if they're going to be pulling the trigger on something, they want that warm and fuzzy feeling. Turnkey houses give that. Pricing strategy is critical, and we've been working with a lot of sellers right now. Our pricing strategy has been like crushing it for people too. YouTube videos, we're going to have a house we're listing in Davis on the channel on Friday. That's going to be the Friday video. YouTube has been really, really doing well with us for us as far as selling homes. We've been putting houses on the YouTube channel. We've been getting a lot of calls. We've even been previewing them a little bit ahead of time. So our YouTube stuff has been doing good. The Rockland house that we previewed, it went way over list. And so I would say if you are someone who has an amazing house, if it's maybe sitting, reach out to our team. YouTube has been working wonders for our sellers. Okay. Now let's go spring outlook. Demand is stronger. Again, inventory is still relatively tight, and it's shrinking just a little bit due to the demand that's coming into our market. These are things you just need to be aware of if you're jumping into the market and you're thinking to yourself, how is this year versus last year? Hopefully that gave you a little bit of an outlook. Now let's look at how April is doing versus March of 2026. This is going to be really, really interesting. April, of course, homes for sale. April is picking up more than March, but not as much as April 2025 as far as homes for sale. Homes sold, okay, April is moving in the right direction because of the demand that's being picked up or that's getting thrown on our market. Homes pending as well, too. If you look at this, this is where it gets really, really interesting. March actually beat us for pendings than this April. So what I'm seeing more than not is that there are a lot of people who are putting homes going pending and then backing out of contract. So if you are someone who's looking for a house and you're saying to yourself, you know what, this house I was looking at, just went into contract and I'm so bummed out I didn't get that house, just understand that it could fall out of contract. I mean, look at these stats, and this is pretty phenomenal, right? I mean, homes sold, April beat March 2026 as it normally does. But as far as homes pending, March beat April. That's kind of crazy as far as I go, like as far as that, so homes pending. So I don't know. I mean, still that homes pending is still high for even April. Yeah, I would just say, just keep that in mind a little bit and understand that if a house goes into contract, I would say maybe we're talking maybe a 15% chance that it's going to fall out. That's what we've been seeing more than not. So just keep those good vibes if you're looking for that right house and it went into contract. All right, let's go inventory comparison, active listings. Again, we're up, but seasonally, that's kind of how it works. April, May, June, those are the months that everything starts going. April, May, you're probably going to see a lot of inventory hit the market because everyone's waiting for that summer rush. Summer rush, for you guys that don't know the Sacramento market, is because we are a feeder market to the Bay Area to Los Angeles. A lot of people want to find the house, find the schools and everything too, but they also have schools and they also have obligations currently. So May is usually the time school is coming to an end and people are out here kind of hunting for their homes. And May tends to be very, very active. So just expect May to probably keep up the charge. May is probably going to be doing better than April as well, too, with the demand we're feeling. Months of inventory, April is better than March, but not as good as April 2025. Absorption rate, 46%. Not bad at all. Price trends. Okay, so as far as average sold price, we're looking at April to be a little bit higher than March. That kind of makes sense with the demand that I'm seeing on the market. Median sold price, pretty much the same thing. And we're talking again, YOLO, Sacramento County, Placer County, and El Dorado County. Price per square foot, we're talking up a little bit as well too. Again, demand is seeping into our market right now, and you can feel it. I think a lot of people aren't waiting for Jerome Powell to get the boot, and people are out there buying. All right, buyer competition, average days on the market, down. Okay. As far as, as we're looking, March, 41 days on the market is decreasing to 31. And I'm thinking May, we're probably going to be hovering somewhere around 27. So just keep that in mind. It's getting warmer in our market. Sold to list ratio, about the same. Sold the original list price, about the same, a little bit better in April. Those things are interesting as well, too. But the big one and the big key is, if you look at the average days on the market, it's getting hot, guys. The market's definitely warming up. All right, what it means for buyers and here what it means for sellers, and you guys can see these slides. For me, what it means for buyers is expect more competition, expect maybe inventory not to sit as long. If you see something and you really, really want it, and you're saying to yourself, we're gonna wait till the weekend to come up and take a look at it, it could be gone. Now, good tip for you guys out there who are looking to buy. Friday is normally that day that 90% of the listings are gonna hit the market, because a lot of people want to maximize days on the market. So they list it on Friday. So we have the Saturday and Sunday open houses. By Monday and Tuesday, usually if that home is hot and there's offers, usually there's a counter happening, and by Tuesday it's in contract. So just understand this is the type of market that's happening right now. Now for sellers, I would say if you're looking to list your home, look around the neighborhood, look around a quarter mile and just see exactly what's moving. How fast is it moving? Is it the same floor plan? And I know you sellers, I get it. I feel your pain. Your house is better than any other house in the neighborhood. Try to be realistic. Get that one friend of yours that's actually very, very like tough love friend and ask him straight up, what do you think of that house compared to my house? That way you can kind of gauge pricing. How much does something go? Average price per square foot. Does it have a pool? Yours doesn't. All that stuff too. You really need to know your area. You really need to know the comps. You need to be really working with a good listing agent that even can like start, prepping your listing, off market stuff and everything too, if you're looking to sell and maximize it. Now, what you're going to notice for sellers as well too, and this is kind of what happens almost every single year, you're looking at like what's called March, April, May, June, 4th of July, last vacation, everyone's gone. So if you're a seller and you're looking to sell your home, and you're saying to yourself, look, I want to sell my home. This is what I want to do. May, June, those are the months, throw it on the market. April is already gone. So I would say maximize it, get it out there. What I notice is July 4th, everyone here in Sacramento is having fun. And after that, everyone goes on their last vacation, start prepping for school, and the summer is done. So just understand, if you're looking to sell your home, this is probably the time to do it. Okay. And now let's go to some questions. All right, guys, how's everyone doing, by the way? Hopefully that was a good little wrap up for you. I wanted to kind of go over April. It's just, there's activity out there. Better late than never. Derek, how are you doing? How's my West Roseville doing? Sounds like spring demand is in swing. It's finally arrived, but will it last as long as it normally does is a question. By August or September, things usually slow way down in our region, 100%. I would even say this, for me at least, I think it slows down after 4th of July. It just, people are going on their last vacations and people are getting ready for school. Everyone's kind of, I don't know, a lot of people feel burnt out, this whole looking for a home thing. And I just think that moment, yeah, people are just not looking to buy. They're just not looking to deal with real estate. They're looking before that last vacation, get primed up for school and everything too. So I would probably say, if you're going to list, May, beginning of June is ideal. But if you start getting into July, it's especially in Sacramento, and not to mention, as we all know, it's going to be pretty hot this year. So July, it's going to be warm out. People are looking for their last vacations. After 4th of July, you notice a big slump in the Sacramento area. And then just like video guy, Matt, you just said, August, September, it just slows down. So for you sellers, this is the time to do it. For you buyers out there, just expect there to be a lot more demand out there. And inventory seems like it's flying. So those good houses probably going to be moving. I agree. Most years, July is slow. I blame the weather too. Not fun to look at houses 100. I know, but it's a good time to sell a house with a pool. Yeah. So for me, as I'm seeing the market go right now, it's funny because I'm running into realtors and, they're thinking right now, oh, they're busy, they're doing great and everything too. And I'm just saying, the market switches really fast. It's like the ocean. You don't want to turn your back on it. Things can change really, really fast. But I think what I'm feeling now, and I'm talking to a lot of realtors, a lot of lenders too. Everyone's getting, feeling that energy, the spring market, the stats are backing it up. And I do think that buyers are saying to themselves, like, if we're going to make this happen, we got to get out there. New homes are, if you are going that route, are given some great incentives. West Roseville, some fantastic building. Placer 1's a little slow. Rancho still doing pretty well as well too. Rancho's got Taylor Morrison coming in, and I think some of the bougier builders in our area, like your Tim Lewis's, your Anthem Double S, your Magnolia, the Toll Brothers stuff. I think those things are going well too. So our market is kind of moving. I mean, if you're someone who's thinking about making the move here to Sacramento. Now I'm not saying jump in to buy a home, time your leg, don't time the market. But I will say though, figure out what you're looking to buy, neighborhoods, communities, floor plans. And believe me when I say this, depending on which community you're looking at, floor plans are super, super important to know exactly what are the popular floor plans. Everyone's always talking about Sacramento, and you guys are right on. I mean, a lot of ours is master plan communities and everything too. So you can tell which floor plans are the more popular ones. Gold River, for example, the single stories tend to be very, very popular here in Gold River. You're going to see a couple the same kind of floor plans, and they'll kind of sit a little longer, but some floor plans like single stories in Gold River fly. So knowing these little, things about various communities and areas are very, very important. Also, like the East Sacramento area, knowing streets, Land Park as well too, the difference between South Land Park, how close you want to be to Land Park as far as for value and everything too. That's pretty huge. So yeah, just know your market, get that education piece done. It's super important, especially if you're thinking about buying in the Sacramento area. It's crazy though. Honestly, like this market's picking up. Jason, my buddy, every time I go to Instagram, Jason is like my barometer also to see how things are going. Because I kid you not, every time I go to Instagram account, my man Jason is writing like 3 or 4 offers. It's kind of crazy. So, Jason, what do you think? Am I right? Do you feel that energy? Do you feel the market picking up? Because I'm definitely feeling it. I don't think it's like one of those things where buyers are buying anything, but I do think buyers are jumping in and they're looking at stuff and they're really, really seriously looking at buying. And sellers right now, I think aggressive pricing tends to be kind of like easing into our market. And I think pricing is a little bit better as well too. So yeah, no, it's an interesting market. I think it's definitely active. I'm getting my butt kicked though. Everything is going multiple offers well over asking. Yeah. That's what I'm hearing a lot of people. It's like, it's active, but it is one of those things that, a lot of people, because you do have that kind of disconnect between people who are like, hey, like 3 months ago, I could have jumped into this market and made a low offer and got what I wanted. And now you're telling me I got to go over list for this house. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, can be a little like pulling teeth. Again, I would say education is the biggest piece of the puzzle. You guys need to get out there and kind of like, with a realtor or with yourself, figure out exactly the community, the floor plans, price per square foot, what makes sense and what doesn't. Yes, you're right. It does a little bit. It's supply and demand, absolutely. But at the same time, just figuring out exactly comps, figuring out price per square foot, figuring out exactly what's competitive, what's not competitive, what's in your mind overpaying, what's underpaying. Like you gotta get that piece, or else it's gonna really, really drive you nuts when you're in a situation where your realtor calls you up and says, I know you want to go for list price, but we need to go $50,000 over list in order to get this house for you. And you're like, what do you think? Do you think that's worth it? Your realtor's going to probably tell you whatever he does, good realtors, bad realtors, whatever, but you should have a little idea of what the value of it is based on like education, the education piece you should be doing ahead of time, even before you write offers. All right. My observation over the past month, resale homes seem to be really strong right now. Yeah. Price right, they're going fast. New builds seem to remain slow. Buyers finally realizing Melrose. I'm with you. I think new homes are slow. Definitely. I think some communities, I think it depends on the communities, depending on the pricing too. I think some new homes, like the Placer 1 GMC homes, the more expensive ones, I mean, those are just sitting, but the ones that are more reasonably priced are moving. I think Melrose too. Yeah, you're right. I think people don't like Melrose. I think, the builders with the best incentives are going to win, and you see it, right? Or the builders who have the smart pricing. Like you look at Willow by Woodside, it's blowing up, but Aspen, their sister community, literally 5 steps away, is a little slower. Why? Well, it's because that pricing, that little bit of like that, what, 30, 40, $50,000 difference between, that's really, really making a big, big difference with the new homes. So I think the new homes right now are kind of falling into the trap resale did maybe last year with the pricing. I think new homes need to kind of, gauge out the market a little bit, like, start low and see where that demand is and then do their increases. Yes, but be smart about it, because if not, new homes are really, really going to keep lagging. All right. For Rockland, Roseland. Yeah, Rockland and Roseville tend to be really hot too. I think Roseville, East Roseville, there's one house that just blew up. I was getting people asking me all over the place if we were writing for that one or not. Roseville is hot. East Roseville. Rockland is pretty competitive as well too. Those markets are nuts. For a while, it was funny because Whitney Ranch was really, really slumping maybe about 6-7 months ago. And now Whitney Ranch is just popping, going. So yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, the demand came in. I think we all kind of thought it would come in, but last year was such like a kind of a letdown. So we were thinking, it's probably gonna be just like last year. Demand's gonna be like, okay. Demand is in here, and so like now it's all of a sudden like it's eating up our inventory. I mean, we don't have as much inventory on our market. I mean, our inventory is tightening up. It's just, yeah, it's pretty nuts. All right, market's definitely picking up. People are taking themselves into giving offers versus me asking them to give. I like it. Ben, Mr. Meritage. I'm going to tell you something with Meritage too. If you do work with any of the communities, I would say talk to Meritage and talk to Ben. Ben is one of the most relaxed, if not the most relaxed new home salesperson, period. He's not looking to sell. He's not looking for anything. He's just saying, hey, look, if the fit's there, the fit's there. But yeah, honestly, like, talk to Ben. He's the man. All right. For Matt's comment about resale homes, I think because they're better built, the new homes are just poorly built. There are several videos about this on YouTube. Do you agree? It depends. I would say that it depends on the superintendent, depends on the builder. I would say always look at forums, always look at various communities. It's not builder specific. I've seen some amazing communities, and I've also seen some communities that were like horrific, right? So I would say this, and just follow me on this one. This is what I tell people all the time. If you look in Sacramento, eventually every single home, not every single home, but a majority of the homes built in Sacramento at one point in time were part of a master planned community. Might not have been Lennar, might not have been Taylor, but they were all kind of like tract kind of homes, right? So everyone had to kind of go through that. I think that what we're seeing right now in the Sacramento area, in a lot of other areas, is that they're building really, really fast. They're trying to like just build and sell. And I think now that they're kind of slowing down a little bit, I think that, what we're seeing now is buyers are a little bit more savvy on the inspection process. Buyers aren't settling as much as they used to be. I think right now we're entering the age of, instead of just going into new homes and a buyer saying, oh yeah, I'm happy with this home, this is great. I think buyers, and I think it's mainly because of YouTube, mainly because of Cy. Cy is a rock star when it comes to new homes. If you haven't seen him, CY on Instagram, man, that guy's, I think he's getting sued by 5 builders. But get your inspection done, figure out the builder, do your review process on all this stuff as well too. It's vital, right? But I always go back to that. I'm like, like for example, the home I'm living in, in Gold River, right? At some point, this was a new build home. Right? And sometime someone moved in here, and yes, it's been through the war and everything too. But at the same time, like it started off that way. And for me, I think that if you do buy a new home, make sure you're doing inspections, make sure you're like not letting anything slide, make sure you feel comfortable with the home you're getting before you actually sign on the dotted line and to get it. And that's one of the things I definitely. And the other thing too is one of the things that I'm noticing about just in general with like the world as we know it is forums. People are talking, people are saying, I don't like this community. I didn't like this builder. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. And I think that is going to be something that's going to start becoming even more like kind of pronounced in what we do. Right. So I do think that for you guys right now, if you go like this builder, this area, I can almost guarantee you there's going to be a Reddit thread about it. If there isn't, start one and then have people chime in and tell you their experience, what they thought. There are things too that people don't do with new homes that I say always do. Talk to the neighbors. You know, go through some QMI homes, go to homes that are about ready to be handed off to other people, talk to superintendents, you know what I mean? Then research out who the superintendent of the build crew is. Those are things that definitely I would say are very, very important. Now, for me, myself, Taylor, we've closed a lot of Taylors, and we have not really had any problem with Taylor. We had one in Lincoln, and it was because the houses were built like this, but Taylor came in and fixed the front of it because the drainage was a little bit like that, but they fixed it right away. Who else have we worked with? We've moved a lot of people into homes, and there aren't as many people. A lot of people have been happy with the homes we've moved them into. JMC, we've moved people into Toll Brothers. Except I will tell you one thing with Toll Brothers, we have had issues with Toll Brothers. Some Toll Brothers have been fantastic, and some have not. And that's just, you know, being transparent with you guys as well too. And it's hard, right? Because sometimes you expect to have that brand new home, and I'll tell you this as someone who probably has sold more new homes in all the Sacramento area. Your home is not going to be brand new. I know it sounds like, yes, it is. No one lived here. Yes, right. No one lived there. Yes. But it is going to have issues. There's so many moving parts in a brand new home. What you're hoping for is getting your home and your keys, walking into the home, and feeling comfortable enough with the builder, with the superintendent, that you know when things come up, because they will come up, they're going to come here and fix it for you. And so I would say working with an agent nowadays, you know what I mean, is something, and my team or some other team or whatnot, I would say also working with an agent to walk you through the process, to be there. Even if they're just another set of eyes at the inspections or whatnot, I think that that's huge, you know, giving you that little bit of like their knowledge going down the road and closing a lot of new home deals. I think that's huge as well too. But I don't know, Pamela, I think from you, and getting back to your question, and I apologize for dragging on a little bit more. I think one of the things that I'm noticing about people moving to resale, and I got to go along with Matt on this comment, I think Melrose is really annoying people. I also think the idea that a lot of people now, even though rates are higher in resale, a lot of people now that the pricing is getting a little bit less crazy, because seller pricing last year was just ludicrous. I think now what you're seeing is buyers are like, okay, you know, I'm seeing some houses on the market. I feel like that's a fair price for a house. I like an established community. I like the trees. That works for me, and that makes sense. And I think you're seeing people choose a little bit more of the established communities as opposed to the new homes. And I agree with Matt. I think that that's definitely something you're seeing on this market. And I think that goes at, you know, the mid price point and the luxury price point. I think what I'm seeing in the resale market for like maybe the first time home buyers, I still think they are probably the primary people that are looking at the new homes right now because of the incentives, because, you know, it's not an easy thing to qualify for a home these days. I mean, with a 6.5 interest rate, even buying like a house that's maybe like $400,000 to $500,000, and I'm just saying it, you know, not just, but, you know, buying a house like that is a bear. And when you look at like a Woodside or, you know, Richmond or whatever, and they're offering you like a 3.99 or giving you like $30,000 of closing costs or buying down your rate, it makes a lot more sense. So that'd be my 2 cents on that. All right. The market, people are starting to get FOMO, I think. FOMO, man. FOMO. Pamela, resale homes used to be new homes. Many of the videos that are circulating online are out of date. It's a Wild West out here in California. There's so many regulations and informed people. Yeah, and I think one of the things too is there are a lot of like, you know, it's just hard. You know, I mean, some builders and some communities definitely don't have the best reputations. And then you have some builders who are just rock stars. And it's hard because it's like anything else. Like for realtors, for example, I mean, you have a few realtors that maybe are like, you know, bad apples, and it just makes everything kind of skewed about how people look at realtors. All right. Jason, JBP had a really nice off market listing in Rockland, 750. I submitted 825 and still didn't get it. They accepted an offer for 900. man, I'm going to tell you something, like aggressive pricing. Here's one thing I will tell you straight up. This is what I tell anyone who's looking to list their home. Trust your listing agent. If you do not trust your listing agent, do not work with them. Jason just mentioned that a seller let this agent list their house for what? What was it? What was it listed for, Jason? Let's just say 750, right? And it went to 900. Now, here's the thing that's crazy about it. I will almost guarantee you that seller was like, I want to list my house for like $899. I want to list my house for $899. I want to list my house for $899. And my guess is Jamie probably just said, hey, look, let's list it low and trust me enough to get you to where you need to be. And they did. And they got 900. That is one of the things I tell people. If you do not trust your listing agent, why are you working with them? You got to trust them to know what they're doing and to guide you to the promised land. And, you know, she did. And good for them. All right. I bought, torn apart, remodeled, sold homes in this area for every single decade. All imperfections. Some worse than others, but old homes aren't immune from build quality concerns. 100%. You know, it's a funny thing though. I will tell you something. Like I was talking to this really nice gentleman and we were talking about, what was it? The Rosemont area. And we're talking about, you know, there is a part of me that loves Rosemont. I love the College Glen area as well too. It just seems like the houses are simpler, right? I was telling him, I'm like, you know, you got a comp shingle roof. What is it to replace that? It's like maybe 12 grand, you know, an HVAC, you know, you got 10 grand. Everything is just so easy in some of these homes. It feels like I'm like working, you know, back in the day, I had a 1965 Ford Fastback. I kid you not. I could open the hood. I knew where everything was. Some of these newer homes, it just seems to be a little confusing. Like these Beazer homes, energy efficient. I love that. But man, I'm looking at these things going like, this is just a lot to take in. And you are right, Matt. There, you know, no matter where you're buying a home, it just is what it is. I mean, when you're mass producing anything and just building and building and building, you're going to have your good homes, you're going to have your bad homes, you're going to have defective this, you're going to have this. The main thing is that you work with someone and, you know, a builder that is very focused on, if you have a problem with your house, we will fix it right away. And I think that that's one of the things that like people should also focus on. Hey, Mark, love your last video. Moving to Folsom, where the commute gets longer and the golf gets better, and everyone suddenly develops a strong opinion about Costco. Man, I'm telling you, Folsom, and I told you guys this, and I don't mean to like, this is not a pat on the back moment, but I will tell you this. Maybe 2 years ago, I was saying to everybody, I was saying on this channel, East Bidwell is going to be a problem. East Bidwell is going to be a problem. I even brought on Derek, who's doing the connector project. I told him, I'm like, East Bidwell is going to be a problem, man. It's going to be a problem. No one listened to me at all. And guess what, guys? East Bidwell is a huge bottleneck right now. And I feel so bad. I hate going to Folsom. And my daughter plays volleyball, so I'm in Folsom at least. Yeah, it's brutal. And man, they got to do something about East Bidwell. But again, hopefully you guys did like the Folsom video I dropped. I want to do those videos for like Grant Bay, El Dorado Hills, and all that stuff too. I want to take you guys into some of these communities that you guys can kind of look at. Folsom for me, I love Folsom. I think it's great, but I do think that some people think Folsom, some people think, oh, it's just new homes, or some people think, oh, all the houses are on the lake, or some people are like, you know, what's there to do in Folsom? So hopefully that type of video that I dropped on Friday, you liked, because I want to do more of those style of videos for you to actually walk into these communities, have nice footage, explain to you a little bit if they have Mellorews, if they have HOAs, home prices, home styles, and all the fun things and the location of that stuff too. The next one we're probably going to be doing is going to be Roseville, and we're going to cover West Roseville, we're going to be covering Central, and we're going to cover East Roseville too. It's going to be a crazy video, and I want to take you into some of these communities like Johnson Ranch. I want to take you into like, you know, some of the West Roseville stuff as well too, Crocker. It's going to be really, really a fun video, but it's going to give you like a little bit of how you can touch and feel these communities, because it is so different. If you saw the Folsom video, all those communities are so different and in Folsom. So I don't know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. More to come. All right. I'll say the finished quality on new builds from the decade is equated to 2003, 2007 builds, just not quality contractors to go around in the boom times. Here's the thing. You've got to meet with the superintendent. You got to understand exactly what his thing is. You got to meet with the crew if you need to. Any reassurance that you can get for these, you should be able to do. Now we're in the market too, where it's a little bit easier to do this. I've introduced many clients to superintendents. People have been like happy with that stuff too. You got to know the people who are building your house for sure. All right. I lived in an old house for years, in need of repairs, but still was better shape than these new homes, which are already having problems. I see the complaints all the time on the news. I can't say anything, but yeah, you do see a lot of complaints. One thing I will say about Sacramento is that balance out the complaints versus how many new homes are actually building in the Sacramento area as well too. That's something definitely to take into account. And the other thing too is when you see the complaints, kind of understand which builders are getting those complaints, and what communities are as well too. Especially if you're someone who's planning on buying here. You can't really lump in all the builders and all the areas and all that stuff too, but you definitely can kind of see exactly where the problems are 100%. All right. Need a house with a big backyard neighborhood with trees that shade the whole neighborhood. Not these cut and paste bird cages they call homes. I'll never buy new homes with tiny driveways. I'm going to tell you something. Driveway is becoming a bigger and bigger thing as well too. I've been seeing Richmond does a decent driveway. One of the things that drives me crazy, and I've sold a lot of Toll Brothers homes. It is amazing that you get like a $2 million home and the driveway is like 5 seconds from the sidewalk. Yeah. More driveways. I think we need more trees. I think we need separation between the homes. I think we should probably, here's the thing, guys. We have land in Sacramento. Extend it a little bit and don't just do 5 feet. Maybe give them like 7 to 10 feet. Make them more separated between the homes. I think at least for me, that would do it. I think the backyard size, it is what it is. You're going to have some neighbors behind you. But at the same time, one of the big things for me, I think that would make a community look a lot better is if there were more separation between the homes. If you guys agree with me, give me a thumbs up. I really do believe that's the biggest thing. If they just added a few more square feet between the houses, I think the communities would look a lot better. Gave you also maybe an additional like 3 to 5 feet in the front driveway. I think that would make everything a whole lot better. So that's just my own 2 cents. All right. Curious question for Ben, if he wants to answer. What's the typical demographic of your buyers you've seen in the Meritage Natomas house? Mostly out of the area relocations. Curious if it's following North Lake. Ooh. Matt, I see a mix of this all day with slight lean to out of the area buyers, but nothing drastic. Okay. I would say here's the thing for me. North Natomas for a lot of people, I think, are people that when they're moving in from, out of state or whatnot, people have this weird draw that they have to be near downtown Sacramento. People don't realize the fact that in Sacramento, in Sacramento, you don't if I wasn't in real estate and I lived in Gold River, I would probably go to downtown Sacramento once every couple of years. That's the truth. Because I'm a realtor, I'm always driving around. But if I wasn't, it's just not that important. But I think for a lot of people, they feel like Natomas is close to downtown, close to like the restaurants and everything too. They're close, but they're far. The airport's right there and they feel central to everything too. What you're going to notice, guys, and if you are someone who's maybe thinking about making the move to Sacramento, is that you kind of stay in your hub. I'm not saying you should or you're forced to. I'm saying that that's what I've noticed, right? If you live in Roseville, you're going to be in Roseville, Rockland, hanging around those areas. If you live in Folsom, you'll be in Folsom. You'll be in El Dorado Hills. Maybe you'll shoot off to Roseville now and again to go to Louis Vuitton store or whatnot. But for the most part, you're going to stay there. Now and again, you'll maybe go downtown for, going to Ella's, you'll maybe go to the kitchen, maybe Golden One or something like this, but it's not a huge oh my God, I need to be close to downtown or I'm going to be driving the entire time. You just won't. We just don't operate that way. For me, the people I see going into Natomas as well too, are people, the bang for your buck in Natomas is still phenomenal. Even with flood insurance, the bang for your buck in Natomas is still, you can still get a really big home. You are still relatively close to downtown if you need to be. Natomas is a great bang for your buck, and it's a softer market right now too. And I see prices in Natomas that are really, really good. I think North Lake, because they built, and I always say this about North Lake. But it's just that they built too fast and they didn't complete the project. And when you leave stuff that's kind of a loose end when you're driving through and it just looks like incomplete, it just adds a little bit of a bad taste in the mouth for a lot of people who've been driving through it. Natomas, I like. I like the airport. I like the downtown area. And the other thing too, for people who are looking for rentals, the beautiful part is that people don't really know too much about Orangevale, about like, see, people know Folsom a little bit, but they always wonder how close it is to downtown. But if you're someone who's looking to move into Sacramento and you're looking for a rental, where you're looking Sacramento, and Natomas pops up in those searches as well too. I like Natomas. I think the price point is great. I think you can get a big house there for like, I don't know, you can probably get like a 3,000 square foot house in Natomas for like under $700,000. I mean, where in the Sacramento area can you do that? Not too many places. All right. Video guy Matt, Jason Smith actually worked on a prop tech site with comments were considered major pushback from realtors. Agents do not want comments on listings. Laugh out loud. Smith, where are those secret off-market hidden at? Matt, other realtors, IG stories always post there. I know. That's the funniest thing about like, realtors and the coming soons and this and that and everything too. I mean, the joke about it is, you go to any Instagram account and you put in like Sacramento real estate, San Francisco real estate, Los Angeles real estate. Majority of the posts you see are, oh, I'm out, my new listing, it's coming to the market like 2 weeks from now. Everything is that. It's been that way for the longest time. People previewing listings, people going on sneak tours. That's where you find it. You're right. Wendy, I'm looking forward to the experience of purchasing a beautiful home as soon as possible. I hope it's fun, exciting, and brings great happiness. Wendy, we're going to find you the right house. And guess what? If we find you the right house, all those things are going to be part of the scenario. All right. Jason, what are you bullish about in Sacramento development or improvement? Sac State, sports, MLS, to Sacramento. What are you excited about? Matt, thanks. Oh, Matt. For me, okay, here's the thing I like about Sacramento. I like the idea that we are building all these kind of like, you got Elk Grove where you need a little bit more road work. I like the hospitals. I think all the people coming in here. But for me, myself, I love the idea of that new surf park coming to West Roseville. I'm a big Costco guy, so I hear we got like another one coming in El Dorado Hills. What are the other things? And I know you can say, Costco, this guy's horrible. But I don't know. I like Costco. Okay, so what do I like? I like the surf park. I think the rail yards project's gonna be huge for downtown because I do think Sacramento proper gets overlooked way too much. And I think the rail yards project, downtown development is gonna be huge for that. What else do I like? I like downtown Dova. I think here's the thing about downtown Dova and what they're doing with that indoor stadium, that whole downtown area they're doing. What they're doing with the connector is they're bringing in Elk Grove and they're going to do that connector between Elk Grove and like Folsom and El Dorado Hills. Right smack dab in the middle of that is Rancho. So if Rancho does have that indoor soccer stadium and downtown Dova project, I think that's going to be absolutely huge for the region. I think for Rancho, for all the people who are building in or buying in Rancho, for all this stuff happening in Rancho, the Braden project, I think Rancho is so set to be just a, like that spot that everyone's got to go through. The commercial aspects of that are just phenomenal. The other thing that I like, let me think, what else do I like? Electric Pickle coming to Roseville. I think Roseville, the West Roseville area is huge. I think all that stuff happening in Whitney Ranch, the Whitney Ranch Retail Center with the Nugget, all the shopping for people in Lincoln. I love the community also. Liberty at Lincoln. I think having another community like Whitney Ranch that doesn't just give you an HOA and you're like, I have no idea what I'm paying an HOA for, but an HOA that actually gives you a pool, an entire like walk area, and like just a true master plan community. I think that's pretty awesome. The things that I'm not really excited about, I'm not really excited about East Ridge Village or East Ridge, the Lennar community on the hill in El Dorado Hills. I'm just not excited about that. What am I though excited about? I'm excited also the connector project. I think that's a huge one. We talked surf park, Placer Parkway. I think Bickford Ranch is going to develop out and be really, really nice as well too. Yeah, those are some of the things that I like right now. For me, I think that our sports, the X Games are coming to Sacramento as well too. All those things are just happening. There's so much in my head right now. I'll do like what's coming into Sacramento. Probably in the next couple of weeks, I'll do a video on that too. But for me, the other thing that I'm super excited about is this. And this is something that maybe people aren't going to be excited about, especially if you don't like Melrose. I love the idea that because of all the new homes we're putting in. Now, check this out. We're putting in new homes in Elk Grove. We're putting in we're talking thousands in Elk Grove, West Sacramento, in Rancho, in Vineyards, in Folsom, in El Dorado Hills, in Rockland, in Roseville. We put some in Citrus. We put some in Antelope. We put some in Lincoln. All those thousands of homes that we're putting in are going to give the region new schools, new police departments, new fire departments, new commerce that's going to be built around these homes. You're going to see just new stores, new bougie malls. In Folsom, you're seeing a new indoor athletic stadium with 3 indoor hockey rinks. The idea that all this is going to be brand spanking new in the Sacramento area, that's the thing that gets me the most excited. The idea that you guys won't have to have schools that are 30 years old and they're things are falling off the ceilings. You're going to have brand new schools. You're going to have brand new police departments, fire departments, parks. If you guys haven't checked out the parks in some of these areas, like the West Roseville area, Rancho area, West Sacramento area, they are on par with the stuff you see in some of these Dallas new home videos. They're pretty amazing. So for me, the idea that in 5 or 10 years, all Folsom is going to be brand new and all built out. New hockey rinks, athletic stadium, Dignity Health, UC Davis Medical. You're going to have a mall that kind of looks like El Dorado Hills Town Center in Folsom as well too. All that stuff is just phenomenal, and I'm excited for. I'm also excited for the idea that we're going to keep a lot of our nature and our trails and our biking and our hiking around here too. Now, that's one thing though, as a community, as people who live in the area, we need to definitely check the builders on next door activities, whatever it is, city council meetings or whatever. That's the biggest thing that scares me. The fact that we're building so many new homes, so much stuff is happening in our area, that the reason why people actually moved out here, because we wanted to be in the middle of nature. We wanted to be close to American River, Sacramento River, Folsom Lake, Lake Natoma. We want to be close to Tahoe and everything too. I don't want that going away. I don't want to see no mountains. I don't want to see a bunch of tract homes everywhere. So I think us as a community, we have to just make sure that they just don't do that, because that's the thing that scares me the most. I grew up in Marin County, and when I left Marin, half the hills that me and my friends did some fun things on disappeared. There were houses there. Everything just, even though a lot of the land in Marin was protected, they still built on any piece of land they could. So I think us as a community, us as Sacramento, people living in the metro area, we have to just understand that for right now, we do have a lot of land to build, but it's only going to be that way for a while. And then all of a sudden we're going to look around and go, remember all those hills we used to have? So I'll get off my soapbox, but that's the biggest thing that worries me. Other than that, I wouldn't mind going to a couple hockey games myself. So that's that for me. Hopefully that answers some of your guys' questions. All right, let's get into some more stuff, and then we will end the night. Okay, so here's where interest rates are trending. Now, of course, this isn't about can you qualify for this rate, credit, programs, all that stuff too. But it's interesting right now. We're still, we're doing the 6.5 shuffle, a little high, a little low. I think a lot of people are kind of worried about Jerome Powell. But I also think right now, the funny thing is that demand is picking up and interest rates are picking up. So that to me is an interesting mix, because it usually, last year, for example, as interest rates went up, demand died. We're seeing the reverse right now, which is bizarre, but it is happening. Remember the homes that are built first, amenities and promise, but things happen. Folsom Ranch is already experiencing this with less schools getting built than promised. They're losing their fire truck. Really? All right. Well, I think I might have to take a little bit of an update on that. Okay. And that's another thing too, guys, for everyone who's buying new homes, for everyone who went into those new homes and were promised things, those are verbal contracts. So I would also say this. If you have literature, if you have documentation, all that stuff, those are verbal contracts, and I would just hold the builders to it. I'd be annoyed. I didn't know about that fire truck. I got to find out about that. All right, let's go to some of the questions and we'll go for the evening. All right, who likes Auburn? For me, I think Auburn's beautiful. Reminds me of Hallmark Channel vibes. I do realize the fact Homeowners insurance, home insurance is going to be brutal over there too. Penryn, Newcastle. If you guys want a lot more land, if you guys don't mind paying a little bit more for home insurance, and I know I say a little bit more and everyone's kind of laughing, but you might have to pay a lot more. And you like rural, you like, mountains, you like all that stuff too. Newcastle, Penryn, Auburn, beautiful spots. If you like golf course communities, if you have like custom homes, Dark Horse is out there as well too. I love Auburn. I think it's great. I think it's a little too remote for me as a realtor, but Auburn is absolutely stunning. It kind of reminds me of a little bit more of a greener, more lush kind of El Dorado Hills. And El Dorado Hills is already beautiful. Don't get me wrong, greenery and everything too. But there's something about Auburn that has this almost like Tahoe-ish kind of vibe to it for me. All right. More. Many families in Folsom Ranch are having to bus their kids across the freeway to older schools because the elementary schools are full and the district shelf plans to build. That's funny because for me, when I moved in, I mean, the builders were straight up. They're like, we're building one elementary school. We're building another one over there. We're going to build a middle school and we're building a high school. That's brutal. Yeah, if anyone out there is watching this video and you're experiencing that, let me know. I'd love to do a video on that. Maybe get a little attention towards that as well too. Do you make a recent video with Daria? I recall you said you were working with a popular Sacramento realtor on a fancy video a couple months back. No, Daria. No. We did a video in Clos de Lac, which was crazy. Ferrari actually sponsored this. Ferrari sponsored this open house. It was phenomenal. Jason was there too. There were like 10 Ferraris. The house was like, I think $8 million. One of the most insane houses I've ever seen in my life. And we videoed that, and that's on the channel actually. And that it was just mind-boggling. I mean, I got to drive Ferraris and everything too. It was phenomenal. But that was the last bougie one that we did. We're going to be doing another one though, and we're doing it with Paul Bianchi. He runs probably the most luxury bougie kind of like builder. He builds high-end stuff all over the place, and he actually just built this like I don't know how many $1 million trucky house, and I'm going to be going up with him. Probably in about 2 weeks, and we're going to film this Truckee house. And this is like a multi-million-dollar brand new luxury house in Truckee. Normally, I stick to my region, Sacramento and everything too, but man, I saw pictures of this house in Truckee. So I'm probably going to bring in some kind of cool cars for that video. I'm thinking maybe even like I talked to a helicopter company to do it, but that's going to be the next bougie one we drop on this channel. It's going to be phenomenal. And by the way, if you guys are thinking about building custom, no one builds custom homes better than Paul, straight up. All right. Developers for Folsom Ice Rinks pulled out to go to Citrus Heights Sunrise Mall. I'm a Folsom resident, so I'm bummed. Serious? All right. I think I need to do a little bit of like a Folsom Ranch 2026 because I actually, this is where it gets interesting. I actually just moved in about a year ago, one of the people that was in charge of the ice rink project. So let me see if I can get some details on it. Man. All right. Do you think it's maybe because of East Bidwell traffic? Ugh. All right. Oh man, I'm so excited. Sunrise. Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right, man. You learned something new. Wow. Yeah. I was kind of excited about 3 rinks, brand new athletic center, and they're doing it at the Sunrise Mall. Interesting. Okay. Again, though. Yeah, that's horrible. Okay. All right. The house just got relisted. Really? Man, I'll tell you something. That house was absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. I mean, stunning house. The only thing that I'll say about that house for me was the fact that maintaining a house like that's got to be at least $2,000 every single month of landscaping and everything too. I mean, you got to really, it's not only just being able to afford the house, it's also to be able to afford the maintenance. But that house was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it looked like a resort. Stunning house. All right, video guy Matt. The Clos de Lac house is one of my favorite houses in the entire region. I did a deep dive on it. Yeah, good. All right. I did a deep dive on it. Interesting. Owner bought it not too long ago and did a major add-on, which expanded the floor plan. Yeah, I saw the pictures. At first, I saw the pictures when it was first sold, and I was like, it didn't look that big. He did an add-on, and I kid you not, the wine room, everything about that house was just next level stuff. I was so shocked that he was selling it. I think he actually is going to be moving to Portugal, but he did just an amazing, phenomenal job in that house. It's definitely a one of a kind house. Views were great. The pool was fantastic. There wasn't anything about that house it was just a stunning house. I mean, I can't say enough about that house. The idea the Ferraris were up there as well too. Ferrari was doing some co-sponsoring on it. I had a fun time. Oh, and by the way, guys, if you are watching this and you have an amazing house, we'd love to feature it on this channel. I don't know why. It's so funny. I talked to some of these luxury agents and I'm like, hey, I would love to go and film that house to put it on the channel. And I kid you not, they're like that guy in Lord of the Rings. They're like, my precious, my precious. I'm like, it's not your house. Get it out there. Get it sold. You know, this is what we do for a living. And they just do not have that mentality around their heads. And I'm telling them, I'm like, hey, look, you know, we'll go out there with a camera crew. We'll film this house. We'll put it out there. Everyone will see it. And we've already sold 10 houses with YouTube videos. So maybe we can generate some additional traffic and you can sell it. And they just don't get it. They just have zero idea why they would do that. And it just blows my mind with some of these luxury agents. So if you guys are listening with a luxury agent and they haven't reached out about putting your amazing house on the #1 YouTube channel in Sacramento, yeah, enough said. All right. They bought it for $1.6 million in 2019. Smaller but nice. I know. You know, it's one of those things. I was talking to the owner, really, really nice guy too. And he's moving to Portugal, and his daughter was with him, and she just looks so bummed to be leaving her friends and everything too. But I can only imagine what they're going to be buying in Portugal. All right. At 1.6, it was a steal because most of the site was already done, including that underground space, the pond, etc. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Unbelievable house. Hopefully we'll get another one. And I've reached out to a couple listing agents, and they just don't get it. Or else we'd have more luxury homes on this. And if you guys have seen it, we don't pretend we just want to showcase it to you guys. And if you guys are interested in the house, reach out to the listing agent directly. We don't care. But I don't know. Luxury agents in our market just don't really get the whole marketing piece of it. So I wish I could bring you more luxury tours. Okay. I have an amazing home in West Roseville. Derek, you know who you got to call. We'll film that thing, get it on the market when it's ready, time to go. For us guys, if you have a line on houses that you think should be filmed, if you guys have a house that's sitting, let us know. On Friday, we're going to be dropping a video on a Davis house we're listing, and it is going to fly. It's a Davis house that's under $800,000, which is just insane. But that's what we're here for, to showcase the area and show you how amazing things are in the Sacramento region. All right, let's go to some more questions. Boom. All right, these are ones that came in during the course of the week. Roseville, California, moved to Roseville almost 10 years ago and love it. Roseville is one of those spots that people are calling, asking about left and right. West Roseville, they're building thousands of homes out there as well too. Roseville is under a huge kind of like facelift. East Roseville near Grant Bay is very, very right now. It's one of those spots. And Jason, that's one of those spots right now that I kid you not, that is just like going $100,000 over asks at times with aggressive pricing. It's crazy. East Roseville is super competitive, probably just as competitive as Grant Bay. Central Roseville is still pretty competitive as well too. West Roseville is where all the new homes are being built. JMC is leading the pack over there too. Love that. All right. I'm already jealous whoever buys my house. Such a show-stopping kitchen. I know, and I saw pictures of it, Wendy. You hooked them up. Guys, if you're enjoying the broadcast, smash that like button and the hype button if you see it. Appreciate it. All right, to the next. All the great amenities of Rockland are located in Roseville. Might as well live in Roseville. Rockland is going to get their Whitney Ranch Retail Center, and they're slowly kind of getting more and more over there too. There are some stuff like Home Depot, Lowe's, and everything too. But what you're going to notice if you do make the jaunt and start living here in the Sacramento area, Roseville is, I would say, probably the major hub of the shopping. I mean, the Galleria, the fountains, whether you live in Folsom, everyone's Amazon shoppers. But if you wanted to go to the Apple store, you'll probably go to Roseville as well too. There's a lot of shopping in Roseville. Some would say, though, I will tell you this, it can be a little too much. You got your big box stores, and then you got your mall, and then you got your 65, and you got your 80, and can be a little trafficky over there too, especially for the parking. But yeah, Roseville does definitely have the shopping. All right, who wins? Fast selling in California or those in Loomis? Ooh, I did not know that. Loomis, guys, if you like Granite Bay and you like a little bit more land and you like kind of like hallmarky, bougie hallmarky, I mean, Loomis is awesome. Loomis is one of those spots. There's a lot of homes out there on septic, but Loomis is beautiful. There's houses with views. There's homes in gated communities. Loomis is, I would say, up there with Granite Bay. It just doesn't get a lot of the attention Granite Bay gets, but Loomis is an all-star spot. Who wins? Everyone who moved from California wins. All right. I don't know, guys. California, I will tell you this, living in California, you definitely pay a premium for living here. You got the weather in Sacramento, you got Tahoe super close by, you got the Bay Area close by. I haven't felt a earthquake since I've been here. You pay a little bit more to live in California. For me, well worth it. All right. How the hell did Roseville get its own electricity company? I know. They should share it with Rockland, right? And that one Toll Brothers company, or community, that'd be awesome. Is Elk Grove overrated or worth every penny? It's not flashy and can be boring. Very suburban, I will say. It offers shorter drives to everything, and Delta Breeze is real. Yeah, look, here's the thing. Elk Grove's one of those spots. You either love it or you don't love it. And if you love it, you double down, your family moves in there, and you just absolutely will grow up there. Your aunt will be there. Your mom will be there. Your brother will be there. Your kids will end up living there. It's very, very much like that. Elk Grove is that spot. I would say one of the things about Elk Grove, one of the things about like a Folsom, the Pocket and everything too, work with a team that's showing you all the areas in the Sacramento region, because if you don't know what you're going to miss. You might fall in love with Elk Grove. You might fall in love with Roseville. You might fall in love with the Pocket. You might fall in love with El Dorado Hills. But if you don't see it and you do not take the time, and your realtor does not take the time to show you it, you're never going to know. And it is like, what is it? Like 60% of relos end up moving within, I think it's 2 to 3 years of moving into an area. And, our clients don't have that problem. So I would say work with a realtor who takes the time to show you everything and make sure that your decision about buying and the area you pick is something that comes to you organically because you've seen everything out there. All right. Would you live in Elk Grove? More affordable new construction? It's not more affordable. Yeah. New construction is getting pricey. It's hard to get in Elk Grove underneath like maybe 600 now. Is Folsom overrated or worth every penny? Absolutely worth it. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. Folsom is one of those all-star spots that people absolutely love. Folsom is just on the tips of the tongue of everybody. People love Folsom. They love being SMUD. They love being close to the American River, Folsom Lake, Lake Natoma. They just love Folsom. You got some shopping. You got some hiking, biking. There's not really a whole lot not to like about Folsom, except for the price tag. All right, the most affordable new homes in Sacramento. You just wasted 13 minutes of my life. Give a price first. Who cares about the floor plan? Okay, I want to make something clear about this, and this is really, really important. I'm not going to tell you guys pricing on this because pricing changes. I don't want to be the bait and switch realtor that's going to tell you this home is for $800,000, and then you come up and all of a sudden it's $850,000. Or all of a sudden you're saying like, this guy on YouTube told me this was like 800 and now it's this or it's that. The thing with pricing on houses is it can change. For new homes right now, they change almost on a weekly basis, almost on every single release, depending on the upgrades, depending on the lots, depending on like the finishes, depending on if you get solar lease, solar purchase. Pricing can definitely change. So I'm not going to be the bait and switch realtor that's going to tell you, oh, you can buy it for $700,000. And then you see it 3 months later, it's $850,000. And then you're saying to yourself, like, that guy totally misled me. I'm not going to do that. If you want pricing on the new homes that I do, I'll tell you who the builder is. I'll give you the links to the community and you guys can go there and talk to them directly or call me and my team can directly talk to them and find out exactly the current incentives, current availability, and current prices. Because I truthfully believe that's a better way to do business than to trick people with these thumbnails that say, oh, this is like $300,000 when in all reality, it is not even close to that price. Okay. To the next, who likes Auburn? Yes, I like Auburn, especially when in hotter weather. I like Auburn a lot. Auburn tends to be a little bit cooler. At least that's, yeah. Right. To the next, who wins? Roseville, Rockland, Loomis, Grant Bay. Okay, Roseville and Grant Bay going in for a close tie. Again, guys, I think you might be overlooking a little bit about Loomis, but all right, let's go. All right, will rates go down next week? No. Rates are doing this, so yeah, I think we're pretty much there. All right, do you think Roseville offers better overall value than Sacramento right now? Yes. A lot of you guys like Roseville. A lot of you guys like Folsom. But yeah, Roseville right now, we're seeing a lot of people that see a pro because Roseville has Roseville Electric, which is comparable to SMUD. Roseville has all the stores and the shopping, a lot of dining. It has access. It has growth. It's developing like crazy. People love Roseville. If you're someone who's thinking to yourself, I want to be the 80, I want to be like, kind of close to downtown, Roseville is a really good spot to take a look at. Again, shopping. Roseville tends to be our hub of shopping as well, too. All right, so we're going to end the night with this. This is a condo that is actually for sale in the Bay Area. Now, a client of ours who's moving up here told us that they're selling their condo right now in the Bay Area. And for me, I grew up in Marin, and I spent about 6 years living in San Francisco, and I could not believe this price. And I know what you're saying. Oh my God, this is nuts. But for San Francisco, take a look at this. 1 bedroom, 1 bath, $575. I mean, if I knew stuff like this was affordable when I lived in San Francisco, I definitely would have pulled the trigger. Look how cool this is. Look at that. Man, look at those views right there. Coy Tower. Boom. I think that's Coy Tower. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while. These are the views. Look at that flooring. Oof, love that. Love that. All right. What else we got there? Okay, then we got the bedroom. Man, that ain't bad at all. And that is curb appeal to a whole nother level. If you guys are looking for something in San Francisco and you want to keep it under $600,000, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, great location, fantastic. Go to Blondie's Bar No Grill in the Mission. Say hello to Blondie over there for me. Great area, great condo. Definitely recommend taking a look at it if you're looking for something in San Francisco. Jason, what's the HOA? I don't know what the HOA is, but I will find out. But I mean, come on. I mean, for you, maybe not for me at this, I'm a suburb barbecue pool type of guy, but for you, you're a young buck, go to San Francisco. You got a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and you're like high rise looking at San Francisco, enjoying the nightlife. I remember the days. All right. I'm going to close the show on this one. This is going to be last. We just filmed the Davis house that we're going to be doing. And Sergio, I'm going to give him a shout out. I'm not going to mention anything more than that. I'm going to tell him he hooked us up. Him and his wife hooked us up. And during the video, 2 boxes of crumble. So I cannot tell you how much that means to me. It was amazing. The only thing that was a little bit of a negative is I had this crumble as I was driving through the causeway and it was pure traffic. And I think I ate 2 of them, but I do appreciate it. Our clients, the people we work with, our friends are the best in the world. And we appreciate you guys choosing to work with us and trusting us. All right, guys, I'm done for the evening. Enjoy your evening. Like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And if you're looking for a team to work with, or if you just have questions about this broadcast or Sacramento in general, Roseville, Rockland, Davis, Auburn, feel free to call. I always answer. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the show tonight. Buying and selling is stressful. I mean, there are definitely different avenues you can go in, and there's no guarantee. Every property is different, whether you're looking to buy it or sell it. So reach out to our team and we can talk to you a little bit about the pros and cons of selling currently, what your house is valued at, and all that stuff too. There's a link below to schedule a call. Now, if you're thinking about moving to the area, guys, reach out to our team as well. We're working with a lot of people relocating them to the Sacramento area. We absolutely love it. There's a Zoom link below. Set up a time where we can talk to you a little bit about what your needs are. Now, if you enjoyed this live broadcast, smash that like button. We would love to talk to you a little bit about Sacramento. I mean, we always are out and about. So if you're looking at places like El Dorado, Roseville, Rockland, Davis, we got you covered. Just reach out to us. And maybe you don't want to do a Zoom call, so just hit me at my phone number on the banner and we can talk a little Sacramento. Now, guys, one last thing before I go. There's a playlist right over there. of other videos I've done about the Sacramento area. Knowledge is power. Those videos will help you kind of make a decision if Sacramento is that spot for you and you want to take it to the next stage. All right, guys, this is Mark. Have a good one. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Remember, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next video.